How's it going, everyone? Welcome to Taishan, China. Or if it's a different dialect, it could be Taishan, it could be Toisan or Hoisan. Mandarin Chinese is Taishan, Cantonese is Toisan, and in my family's dialect, it's Hoisan. They're all correct. And you heard that right. This is where my family is from. Hoisan, China, in Guangdong province. Considered to be the home of the first overseas Chinese. And this is my first time coming back to my ancestral family place or ancestral roots. And boy, do I have stories to tell you from Taishan or Toisan or Hoisan. In fact, I don't even know what to call it because all three dialects are correct. I kind of find myself saying Toisan a lot more than the other ones. But we are in Guangdong province. It's Thursday, June 19th, 2025. The time is 6:30 p.m. Temperature is 86 Fahrenheit, 30 degrees Celsius. Hello, Kuching, Ohio, Hoisan, Guangdong, Zhonggok. I just said right now I'm in Toisan, Guangdong, China. LBB, I do speak Chinese, although I cannot speak any Chinese dialect fluently. I learned a little bit of Hoisan dialects growing up as a kid, learning from my parents and grandparents. And since Cantonese is very similar to Hoisanwa, I also picked up a little bit of Cantonese as well, and Mandarin I studied for 2 years on my own from about 2015 to 2017. We are on the pedestrian street of Hoisan. More specifically, we're in Taishan, which is literally translated as Thai City. This is like Toisan City here. And it's kind of like a really strange thing coming back here to Toisan because my grandparents, when they left this place, they didn't really describe it as a a place of wealth and built up like this. When they left, there was a bunch of villages and it was very poor, and they really only had to rely on like the farming and dirt roads and stuff. But now we're here in Toisan and I'm like getting a culture shock. I'm like, this isn't what I heard from my grandparents of what this place is like. And I'm like, man, what is going on here? And the more I walk through here, it's like there's a lot of places that this looks better than I'm like, man, this place is so developed and it looks even better than many of the places that the Toisanese people went to. Kevin Wu says your grandparents are from here too, from the Enping village. Very nice. Dwayne Gladica asks if I have any distant relatives here, or are they all in the United States? I'm not going to spoil that because I have a very important video that I'm going to be releasing in the future about Toisan and trying to find my family roots, and I was really surprised at what I saw, so I'll leave it at that about if I have family here or relatives. But most of my family and friends are in the United States. Brad 2025 with $2 says going back to New York in July. have been subbed since 2020. Thank you so much, Brad 2025. Appreciate the support. Thank you so much for watching. It's also very strange for me to speak Taishan dialect, and a lot of people here understand me. And meanwhile, it's not even a dialect that's used anymore that often. And I'm also finding that the Taishan dialect isn't really used even that frequently as much in Taishan too. A lot of the young people here, they speak Mandarin Chinese and not Taishan. But I'm very happy that I at least know some Toisanhua and a little bit of Mandarin Chinese too. So in front of us is the Taishan Commercial City Plaza. If you notice, I'm all over the place when it comes to pronouncing the name of the city. Taishan, Toisan, Hoisan. And I guess it kind of falls to my cultural identity too. I didn't grow up here. I only heard stories about it, saw pictures and videos, and also learned Mandarin recently, so it's pronounced Taishan in Mandarin. So I'm kind of conflicted whether to call it by the Mandarin name, the lingua franca of the province, Toisan, the Cantonese, or Hoisan, which is the Taishan Hoisan dialect. I'm getting so confused. John 259 says quite a few shop signs in China are in English and the Western alphabet. I guess that's a recent development. It is actually, I think. There's a lot of English available in China. We'll go inside the Taishan Commercial City Plaza. I guess now is the time for me to practice some of my Taishan dialects. I could try to translate whatever I'm speaking right after I say it. Oh yeah, hi. This mall is very nice. There's a lot of things to see. Over here you can buy breads and other items. This used to be a bus terminal. 叫時佢個係公車站, I think, or maybe that's Mandarin. I don't know what bus station is in Toisan dialect. I'm not even fluent in that either. Kevin says Taishanese sounds like Cantonese because of the tones. Yeah, they're very similar because it's part of the Yue family of languages. I find that Taishanese has more of a twang to it than Cantonese. I smell durian. We'll go out to this main street here at the end of the Commercial City Plaza. You know, one thing that's really surprising me about Taishan is the food here. The food here is absolutely incredible, and some of the best tasting food from any place that I've been to is here in Taishan. Many of the dishes that are regarded as strictly Cantonese are actually Taishanese in origin, including the rice noodle rolls. The Taishanese people claim to have invented it first. Also, the clay pot rice, that's Taishanese as well. And they say that the zongzi, which is the bamboo wrapped sticky rice, is also Taishanese in nature. Dwayne is asking, how rare is the Taishanese dialect in Chinatowns in North America? Have you heard it much while seeing those places? Well, I'll tell you about that, Dwayne. Back in the 1990s, I heard a lot more in New York City. I didn't really travel that much in the 1990s, but I heard a lot more. Now you don't really hear it as much at all. I actually heard it a lot more in San Francisco Chinatown than New York Chinatown. Yeah, Kevin, Mandarin is taking over Taishanese. Even within Taishan, or Taishan, it's taking over as well. But not only is it taking over Taishanese as well, I find that even Cantonese is slowing down. The prevalence of Cantonese. In Hong Kong, I heard much more Mandarin being spoken as well. Looks like the lights are on now. It feels very strange to me to be walking down and overhearing people and understanding what they're saying sometimes. The Taishanese dialect is very weird. I could even say some things. Mahoukia, that's I'm very hungry. Or you could say, 你可以吃乜啊? What do you want to eat? Or 我想冲凉啊. That's I need to take a shower. It's very strange than Cantonese. Or you could say flu saw onaya. That's where is the bathroom. But if you say that to a Cantonese person, they'd be like, what is a flu saw and what is onaya? There it's chi so hai bindo. That's Cantonese. It's so different. Oh. I guess here we'll walk the entirety of the pedestrian street. Cafe Logan says Taishanese and Cantonese are like cousins, not brother and sister. Yeah, it's kind of like, I think Taishanese speakers understand more Cantonese than the other way around. It's harder for the Cantonese to understand the Taishanese speaking. But like I said, Taishanese has that twang to it that Cantonese doesn't. It's hard to describe, and I don't even think there's a lot of like learning materials for learning Taishanese. Like it's like even counting numbers 1, 2, 3 is yit yi flom flom. It's like a I don't know how to say it, like a throaty word flom, and in Cantonese it's yat yi sam. You see, it's so different. It would be hard to like learn how to say that unless you like grew up learning how to speak it. It's like comes from the back of the throat a little bit. Jazz fan says guttural. I wouldn't really say it's guttural. It comes more from the back of the throat. Like they use that TH like back of the throat sound for a lot of things. Like in Mandarin to say what do you want to eat is 你想吃什么? But in Taishanese it's 你想吃什么? 你想吃什么? Peter says if AK's hungry, I saw plenty of restaurants there. Yeah, there's plenty of places here. Hey Dan versus World, welcome. Jazz band, I don't use the pedometer app. My iPhone's health app, like track of steps. Dwayne says it's fun and also useful to learn other languages. Yeah, I'm kind of a strange one because I only know English fluently, but I know a whole bunch of other languages like bits and pieces here and there. Oh, this is a pedestrian street. You have a lot of scooters and e-bikes coming through here. I've noticed that with many of the pedestrian streets in China. They still allow the scooters to come through. Vegetable and fruit tea made in Guangdong. Joe's Cha. I guess that's Joe in the cutout there. Oh wow, Kevin, you're fluent in Taishanese. I might be able to learn from you. I mean, I wasn't really like avid learner of Taishanese. I only picked it up because my grandparents spoke to me in it. I didn't take any classes. But I kind of know like the daily household commands, if you know what I mean. Like come to eat, take a shower, brush your teeth. The architecture here is really impressive too. Some of these buildings have a hint of European influence as well. Flower Strike, we're on Taishan pedestrian street walking now. Good amount of people here looking at the street food. I'll tell you another Taishanese word. Ho thim, that is be careful. Meanwhile in Mandarin it'll be 小心. Look, they even have dim sum here. Ooh. Hiking Hosek. I just said it looks very delicious. Another Taishanese saying that I heard a lot. Ooh, hiking okay hell soon, hiking okay hell soon, which means looking at it and makes my my tongue water or something like that, or mouth water. That's kind of like a literal translation. Oh man, they're like round cakes or something. This kind of looks like the Japanese omoyaki, I think it's called. You can get some snacks on a skewer. Oh, Rolly, it says it's takoyaki. Then what was the other one I said then? Which dessert is that or snack is that? They look so cute, these puppies and kittens. You don't want to annoy the delivery people. They're in a rush. Sometimes I see them, they're like running to get their next order after they park their bikes. Oh, Kevin, you're talking about the metro here in Taishan? There is no subway here, it's just buses and taxis. that looks good. Looks like jelly. I've found that in terms of speaking Toisanese, the older generations are more likely to speak it, whereas the younger generations, it really depends. In fact, I would say I even know some more Taishanese than some of the young Taishanese who grew up here. That looks like an interesting drink. Lu Do Sha. Almost saying a VPN is needed to stream. No, you don't need a VPN to stream in China. I'm using an eSIM right now, and an eSIM is good enough to stream, at least to YouTube. Number 2 bus. I think it's as easy as opening up Alipay or WeChat Pay and scanning the QR code at the front of the bus. Phil is asking how far is the city from Hong Kong? I'm not sure. Why don't we ask Siri? Hey Siri, how far is Taishan from Hong Kong? It says, I don't know where you are. Alright Siri, how far is Taishan, Guangdong from Hong Kong? Alright, they still don't know where I am, so I can't give you an answer because Siri doesn't know. But like I said, it's probably a difference in whether to call it Taishan, Toisan, Hoisan, and also the fact that there's 2 Taishans in China. There's Mount Tai near Beijing in Shandong province, and then you have Taishan, Guangdong, which is here. The former name of Toisan used to be called Sinning or Sunning. This region known for. It's actually known currently in the modern day for a lot of the agricultural sector. A lot of eel exports come from Taishan, but historically it was the home of the first overseas Chinese. Many of the earliest immigrants from China came from here, and they settled in different places around the world, including my family. So this is the historical and cultural district of Taishan. And this gate here is supposed to represent the historical Seamen Market, or the West Gate. Thanks so much, Josephine Halligan, for £1.49. Appreciate it so much. Past this gate, you see a lot of the old streets here that have kind of been like preserved in time. The old China. It's kind of quiet on this side, to be honest. But also kind of pretty. We have to check out this archway of the hometown of overseas Chinese. I would say one of the things that surprised me the most about Taishan is how much culture and history that's here, that's preserved and memorialized too. They have whole exhibits to the overseas Taishanese who went overseas, and an amazing museum as well. Johnson says, looks like many of the buildings have Spanish or Portuguese architectural influences. Yeah, they do. Many of the overseas Taishanese who came to the New World and they worked on projects like architecture, the Intercontinental Railroad, when they came back to Taishan, they brought their knowledge with them, and that's why you see Western influence in the structures. It's definitely very interesting, the history of the Taishanese people. Peter Bradfield with $4.99 says AK, although Taishan isn't listed as being visited by Marco Polo, I would not be shocked if emperors who did visit influenced Venice. Prize too. Thank you so much, Peter Bradfield. Appreciate the support. Thank you very much. It's very pretty here. Ah, toy unit feng shui. Let's sit down here, and sitting down here we'll get some wind. Sounds like someone's singing down there, doing karaoke. Meaning what? Says you're speaking Taishanese? Sometimes I do. I mean, I don't do it on a normal basis, and I'm actually surprised how much I remember coming here and starting to speak it. Like, a lot of it's coming back. Maybe we could walk along this lake here. It's very pretty. Almo's asking how long does a visa allow you to stay? It depends on person to person. For some people, they can even enter China visa free. But as a US citizen, I did get a Chinese tourist visa. It allows me to stay up to 90 days at a time. Cafe Logos asking how long did the visa process take for you? I think it took about a week, I would say, but I didn't apply for it on my own. I went through a travel agency. They helped me prepare everything. Maybe it was a little bit longer, maybe 2 weeks. Some people have really powerful voices. I can hear them from all the way over here across the lake. I don't know if you can hear them singing. You know what they also say about the Taishanese people? Many of the people who settled here are actually from the Tang Dynasty. And the Tang Dynasty was the golden era of culture, arts, and music in China. So it's not surprising that coming here, I see a lot of culture still being practiced here in Taishan. Look at these trees. They like extend all the way down to the water. It's incredible. Johnson says, seems like this region has a smaller population. I wonder where the people have gone or if they've moved to other areas. Yeah, I think people have moved to other areas, even if they were born and raised in like the modern times in Taishan or Taishan. They've moved to other areas within China, like Guangzhou and Shanghai, Beijing, because there might be better opportunity elsewhere. I mean, Taishan actually has a pretty decent sized city, but other cities offer more opportunity to make more money. And then, like I said, because of the emigration that happened here, many of the Toisanese population here declined drastically, and those descendants of the Taishanese, like me, they settled abroad. I know many Taishanese people, people of Taishanese descent, they don't even know how to speak the dialect anymore, and they've completely assimilated into, the society that they were born into. Like, they may only know English fluently, or they may grow up learning Spanish if they were moved to Latin America. It's very interesting. I think we can go here and maybe head to the main street over there. Yeah, Lena, there's a lot of EVs here in China. The Chinese auto industry is very large. They're also quite comfortable too, the Chinese EVs. I've ridden a few of them when I ordered them as taxis. But we gotta use our skills to cross the street here. I'm gonna stick my hand out and be like, let's stop for me. All right. KFC. Cafe Lotus says, hate these style of streets. You pray the driver sees you. Yeah, it makes you a little bit uneasy if you're not used to them. But then again, what about crosswalks with a traffic light too? You better hope the driver sees the red light also. Paul Mascal recently watched your Great Wall of China videos. You thought they were amazing. Thank you for sharing your adventures. I really appreciate it. My trips to the Great Wall of China were the most memorable points in my life, I would say. Actually, no, I would say one of the most memorable moments in my life. But it was a very emotional time for me, and I really enjoyed my trips to the Great Wall of China. Looks like you can get sushi here. Yes, Nick, I've ran into people who did recognize me. Taishan Road. I'm not crossing the street now. Let's let this driver go. And I hope this driver sees me letting off their passengers. That restaurant looks very loud, if you know what I mean, with its advertising. Someone's singing. I think he's got a great voice. Sings better than I can. No, Nick, I don't know what he's singing about, but I can definitely tell it's full of expression. Look at the architecture here, just in this park. This old Chinese building. Let's cross the street here, because it doesn't look like there's any sidewalk up there. Well, I guess it continued, but like it got interrupted by this staircase and ramp. When he says it looks like a quiet neighborhood. Well, we're about to go out onto the main street with all the cars. What's going on with the road now? I guess we got to go that way. This car's coming through. Nick Patterson asked if it's more expensive in China. From New York City and much of the United States in general, it's much cheaper in China than the United States. But it's also, comparing what thing you're looking at. In terms of general cost of living, it's cheaper here in China than the United States, but also you have to weigh like how much you can earn here and the different types of products as well. I'm sure different products will be more expensive here. But I'll tell you some general prices that I've experienced. For my hotel, I'm paying $36 a night for a 4-star hotel in Taishan, and I was able to get a clay pot rice with Chinese sausage and salted fish for $2.50 US. Also, a taxi ride from downtown to my hotel, about 10-15 minutes, is about $1.20. Also, to get a bottle of water at 7-Eleven, it's about 30 cents. Yeah, George, I've seen that and observed it too. The drivers in Hong Kong drive much faster than they do in mainland China. Also, I've experienced that mainland China is generally much less expensive than Hong Kong as well. In Hong Kong, you could pay 2 or 3 times the prices that you'll pay here. I paid $120 a night for my hotel in Hong Kong, and a plate of char siu with vegetables in Hong Kong, that would cost like $8. Here you can get like the same dish for like $2, maybe $2.50. See some of the older homes here. Yeah, Marit, my hotel does include breakfast in that price. And it's a pretty decent breakfast as well. Hey Seuss, I haven't tried the beer in China. I'm not an alcohol drinker, but I've heard it's okay. What do you think? Is this a safe street to walk on or not? Because in many places I'd be afraid to walk down places like that, but here in China I feel much safer than a lot of places that I've traveled to. Because sometimes you'll have the stereotype of like someone coming up to you in a alley or something and being like, they got like a bank robber mask on, they got a knife coming at you, you know, what are you doing down this dark alley, man? Give me all your money. But I don't know, here in China I feel like that's not going to happen walking down a place like that. So this is Taidong Street, or Tai East Street, literally translated. It's a pretty big street as well. It's not as like busy as that street that we just came from. But I think it's a good mix of showing you some like local restaurants and shops. Right now there's a lot of places that are closed because it's getting late. It's like 7:30 now. Oh, Cafe Logos, you're talking about Astoria, Queens? Yeah, unfortunately they sometimes have been like random spikes in crime there, and I don't really particularly like what's happening to New York City in terms of like crime. A lot of times the general attitude towards crime there is kind of like, oh, it's a big city, stuff happens, you know, be careful. But I don't really think it should be that way. Sometimes like even the police there and the political leadership there doesn't want to take accountability for the crimes that happen. They kind of like just say, oh, it's not really an assault because they didn't really hit you hard enough or something like that, or like they don't even want to respond to the crimes. It's like, what kind of world is that? Thank you, Brent Sarazin, with $2 Canadian. Appreciate it so much. But like I said, in New York City in general, like, it's a safe city, but you're really on your own when it comes to like your own security. Don't expect you know, government and the police to assist you, because you have to expect that, and the justice system. A few buses just passed by. Fun fees, not just there, but a lot of places that I've been to around the world. kind of had no idea what that driver wanted to go. Brent says space seems very precious there. I mean, in some ways it kind of feels like Ho Chi Minh City with bikes and scooters parked on the sidewalk and sometimes no sidewalk. Let's go after this car. Yes, Paul, there's definitely many places that I wouldn't visit. Brent remembers when I had the spill on Johnny Stride's e-scooter. Glad I'm 100% now. I'm not 100% yet. It still swells up daily. I would say I'm like 90% right now. If that swelling is gone and I have like complete flexibility on my foot, it will be 100%, but it's 90%, I would say. My doctor did tell me that it will continue to swell up until about October. It's still June. I still have 5 months. Kind of cool to see the street, right? It's a way different than the downtown with the walking street and the mall and the historic district. I know these people must do well because cooling fans, air conditioners. You definitely need it here in Taishan. It's hot and humid, especially in the summertime. Hi, doggy. Rick remembers the road trip I did from New York City to Los Angeles and from Los Angeles to Miami. Don't forget that. It was so fun and lovely to see all the different villages and pretty nature. Yeah, it was one of the most memorable points in my life to do a cross-country road trip and back. Thank you, Brett, for the $4 Canadian. Appreciate it. Thanks so much for joining in. Peter says, when will you visit Australia and New Zealand? What about the continent of Antarctica? Well, Peter, there's only so much you can do. As I said before, I wish I could like clone my consciousness and like be everywhere at once, but I can't possibly do that. So I just have to be in the places and destinations that are the most meaningful for me. Durian, the stinkiest fruit on earth. Ooh, it smells. It smells. Does it smell good? Does it smell bad? Well, it smells okay. Oh, nay, it's banned by most of the airlines, durian. Even some metro systems don't allow durian. You know what's funny? The high-speed rail trip I did from Beijing to Xi'an, the announcement says, please avoid eating stinky foods. Well, I would put durian at the top of that list. As well as like, I don't know, microwave fish, like really like fermented things, spoiled food. Stinky tofu as well, Cafe Logos, yep, stinky tofu. Anything that makes your neighbor wince is not allowed on the train. This is a bus stop. Coco Chan says the durian smell is a powerful weapon. It sure is. Someone's out for a run. I think I am strong enough to run again with this foot. This looks like a government building. Maybe it's the city hall or something. I can probably look it up on like Apple Maps or something. It's the CPC Taishan Taichung Residential District Work Committee. That's a mouthful. And we're getting some more shops now. We have to wait over a minute for the next green light. Yeah, Kevin, you do make a good point. It kind of reminds me of Vietnam with all the bikes, but places that I've been to, like Shanghai, Beijing, didn't really have too many motorbikes. They don't even give you that much time to cross the street. If you wanted to cross over again, you have to wait another full cycle. Yikes, my gosh. These buses have such a loud horn, it jump scared me. It's like a train horn. Well, this is kind of a strange pedestrian crossing. Like it ends here, we're gonna have to cross here and then go up again. Yeah, why don't we cross here with the crosswalk? Or maybe not. I don't think that's really safe. There's turns and it might be a little bit tricky, so we'll go this way. It looks like a lively block over there. Yes, Froggy's Math Lab. I've eaten that Taishan famous eel clay pot rice already. It's delicious. They just parked their car. I thought they were coming out of the spot. Look at that. Those roast meat looks good. Looks pretty interesting over here now. We're getting a lot more lights. This is the eastern part of Taishan. I guess it would make sense. Taidong Lu, which is Tai East Road, would go to the east part of Taishan. Wow, this place sells like desserts and fruits. And there's a big durian over here too. Whoa! I almost got hit by a bullseye. That was scary, man. Got to get out of the way. Taishan soy sauce goose. Roast goose sounds good too. I think we should cross over here. That looks like a pretty large shopping plaza. Dongmen Plaza. Yeah, we should definitely check this out. This looks amazing. But now we gotta worry about the cars. Alright, let's go. And we'll stick our hand out to the right and make these drivers stop. Man, look at this place. Kind of reminds me of California in a bit, the strip malls. Yeah, Brent says it reminds you of South Korea. Kind of does as well when I was looking at videos there. That's a supermarket here. Hey, look what's here. The world's most famous restaurant. McDonald's. Yeah. Who doesn't want a Big Mac, man? A Happy Meal. What is that? A filet-o-fish? I don't even know. Came all the way to Taishan to eat McDonald's, right? My lifelong dream. Well, folks, I think I'm going to wrap up my live stream here. Looks like there's a lot of places in there where I could kind of wind down, get something to cool me off because it's kind of hot and humid. But if you enjoyed tonight's live stream from my family's hometown of Taishan, China, then hit that like button for me, subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye everyone. Take care. Peace everyone. Later.